Hello, Internet. It has been a whole 7 years or so since I think I spoke to anyone really on the internet about this game, Sausage Dog Turns to Infinity, that I've been working on for at least that long. But the good news is it's not dead. It is very much alive and well. It has had to take several leaves of absence during the course of its development over the last few years for various different reasons. One of the reasons being I've been kind of working in game development for the last few years now. And so, spending my working day working on games and then spending my free time in the evenings or on the weekends working on this game as well felt a bit much, and I found the motivation for that to be quite difficult at times. And there's also been various other reasons related to, personal life stuff and whatnot that I won't get into just now. But the game is still alive. I am happy to say that the current state of it is that all of the level design is done. There is, a very, very small chance that one or two new levels might make it in at some point. But that I'm at least 99% sure that everything in the level design is basically set in stone now. I have a couple of very kind of fringe ideas that I might want to try out, but I'm pretty sure that it is what it is now, and it's sat at, I think, 32 levels, including the kind of final level which I put in a few months ago now. So yeah, I'm very happy to say that all the level design itself is done, and that I am now at the stage of trying to make the game kind of look and sound somewhat nice. I don't have too much experience personally with doing kind of art and audio. I have a little bit of experience doing some audio stuff, but so for a lot of that stuff, the art and the audio stuff, I'm going to be, or I have been, getting one or two people to help me out a little bit with that stuff, hopefully. In terms of the dog itself, that's done, and that has been done for a little while now. I worked with a good artist who helped me out with that a few months ago now, and I'll put a little preview image up on screen now of what that looks like, and that's obviously different to what the dog kind of looks like in the trailer and screenshots and stuff that are on the Steam page right now. That's kind of an old design from a while ago now that I wasn't super happy with, primarily because it doesn't really actually look like a sausage dog or a Dachshund, not enough anyway. But I'm very happy with the new look and the new design. So I'm currently working on kind of implementing all the animations for that, and making sure that it all fits in very nicely with the mechanics of the game and the movement specifically. There's a lot of annoying little nitpicky things because obviously with it being a Soccerman type game, all the movement's on a grid, and so everything needs to be quite kind of precise with how all the animations line up. Everything needs to fit within this grid very nicely. So that's been a little bit of a pain and continues to be a bit of a pain, but it is definitely getting there. And I'm definitely making slow but steady progress on that. So that's going well. And yeah, once all of the animation and stuff for the dog is finished, and I'm happy with that, that will probably be the point at which I start to send out some very early kind of playtest builds to maybe a couple of people. That probably won't be a super public thing. There won't be a beta test or anything like that, but just putting out some early feelers, getting a little bit of feedback here and there from a couple of people will be really nice. And that'll be the point when I start working on the art for the environment itself. There's some stuff that was already done for that that you can see in the trailer and screenshots. Some of which I'm kind of sort of 50% happy with. Some of it I'm not super happy with. So I'm going to be redoing a good chunk of that, if not maybe all of it. So that's kind of what I'm working on next. It is very, very difficult for me to try and put any kind of a concrete ETA or how much time I think all of this stuff is going to take. I've tried to do that many times before and I've been wrong every time. I think, the more I've done game development stuff, both in terms of hobby stuff like this and also in my job, the more I've realised over time that putting concrete finish dates on things is fraught with all kinds of problems. So it'll take as long as it needs to take. My original hope was that the game would be finished and out by the end of 2025. I think that is feasible if I am able to continue working on it at the kind of current rate that I'm working on it. But obviously, as I said earlier, the game had to kind of take a backseat to various other things multiple times throughout its development. So if that has to happen again, then obviously it'll take longer. But I think end of this year or kind of first half of 2026 is not unreasonable to expect at all. Because again, as I said, the hard part-ish is kind of done with all the level design and whatnot. So yeah, if you are interested at all in this game, please do give it a wishlist on Steam. You can also follow me on X if you like. I'll put the link in the description as well. I will probably be posting occasional updates on there, maybe once every couple of weeks or so, if you're interested. And if you have anything that you're curious about, anything you want to ask about, please do pop a comment on this video, and I'll either reply to the comment or possibly make another video replying to comments in more detail. I'm hoping to put a few more of these updates up on YouTube, maybe once every 2 to 4 weeks ish, something like that. So yeah, see you around, and thank you so much to everyone who has shown any support for the game, any interest in the game over the years. Even just little messages on like forum threads or a couple of emails that I've got on that kind of thing. They've all been really super useful, and they've given me a lot of motivation to keep going and to finish this game. So thank you so much, and I'll see you hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.